Thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Betcha. It's the return of the Brian Snow Show after an extended absence, and I am about to explain why I was gone for the past week. And it's something that I have fought for the longest, and I thought I had gotten through it. As you can see, I am outside this afternoon. It's a wonderful 82-degree day here in southern Indiana, and I am so glad to just be outside compared to where I was in a hospital bed. But I love it. I'm outside of Starbucks here in Indiana, and I want you all to know
Brain's fault. I took an unexpected week off.
And why do I say I took an unexpected week off? Because I felt I wasn't doing enough. Part A and part B, I felt I wasn't pleasing you guys. I felt I wasn't bringing it for the afternoon gig like I do for the morning gig. I mean, it got to a point where I was so physically tired and mentally overwhelmed that after the morning show, I would just check out for the day and take a nap. That's how bad it was. And I really had to think. I wasn't even putting the podcast out there. And I have all the past episodes of both shows, and they are archived for the moment. I didn't even send this to WQEE for the past week, and they contacted me wondering how I was. I'm feeling a little better. I'm going to send this to them because the fans down south need to know what's been going on. As you all know, I fight a little thing we like to call depression, and I fight it on a daily basis. And the toughest thing for anyone that deals with depression, for anyone that deals with some of the things that I've dealt with physically, mentally, and emotionally, is to bounce back from it. I really didn't think I was. It got to the point where I pondered ending this show. And I've always prided myself on consistency. And it took me, basically, it took me 2.5 years to get consistent with the morning show. And that is thanks to the talents of Cole Johnson. And it took him and, Wise El Jefe, it took you guys in the feedback zone to really get me back on track. And I'm hoping the same to happen here on the afternoon show. The other thing I toyed around with was actually the other two things I toyed around with. A, extending it, and B, changing the time. And I thought of changing the time from a physical standpoint because I sign off at 10, then I would produce the podcast version of the morning show, and then I would try to get a nap and then wake up and start my afternoon shift doing everything I need to do. And plus, I also take care of the house. Um, that is something that my wife asked me to do, and I'm going to get to doing that on a regular and a consistent basis. The consistency frightens me, and it frightens me because it seemed like for a time, and I'm using the past tense here, that every time I get a little bit of momentum, I kill it by going off the air. And when I was off the air this past week for the afternoon show, even the days I didn't do the morning show, I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of the run. But a big part of me said no. A big part of me said, man, you've got to get back into this. This is what you signed up for. And when I repeated that phrase to myself, this is what you signed up for, that's when the soul searching really began. Because I asked myself several times, do I really want to do 2 shows a day? And do I really want to extend the length of time that I'm on for both? Or do I want to or do I want to change the time that I'm on for both? And the answer to both simply is no. I cannot tell you how many times and how many ways I have toyed with the idea of I've I've toyed with the idea of pushing the plunger and changing a lot of things around. But then I reminded myself of something. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The biggest problem for me is getting enough rest. And it's been something I have fought for 2 years now, making sure I get at least 7 to 8 hours worth of sleep so I can continue to do what I love to do. And it's a fight and a half because I am so behind on so many things. But then it goes back to, do I want to push the plunger and start all over? And part of me said yes to that because I want to get everything streamlined, but I have to do it in a way that is comfortable for me, that expends the least amount of energy because I'm planning to take on a play-by-play schedule, a full play-by-play schedule next season. In fact, I have a phone call to make to Jennings County High School to make sure that gets in their ears. And I left Jennings County High School because I physically and emotionally was unable to continue. It came to a head one night in January. Well, actually, 2 occasions had it come to a head for me. When I was on the road and I made the long drive to one high school for a road game with Jennings County, and my computer wouldn't start. I had to reboot. No, I had to restore the factory settings on my computer right then and there. And this is after I had gotten there an hour prior to tip off, which is late for me because I like being 2 hours. Uh, I like being there 2 hours early to set everything up. I have a handbook that I keep in my backpack, and I was not following it. I was not following it to a T, and that's my fault. But a lot of that was me mentally too. A lot of that was old voices in my head going, "You can't do this. You're just coming off cancer. You should give your body a rest. You've got to heal." And Victor told me that. My wife told me that. My children have told me that. And they're right. I do have to heal. But comes part two to here comes part two to this. The way that I love to heal is by doing this. This is a big part of me. And it's been a big part of me for 27 years. I didn't know how I would bounce back from any of this or all of this. I didn't know how I was going to do this until I just launched and got back into it, which led to the night at the tail end of January, the second incident where I was doing a doubleheader for Jennings County, a girls and boys basketball doubleheader, and I couldn't continue the second game. The second game, after the first quarter, I was so exhausted. And I had to dig deep and force myself to walk away. I had to walk away. At that point in time, I did not have a choice but to walk away because I didn't want and don't want to half-ass anything that I do for my family, for my broadcast friends, for my fans, and for myself. And this past week highlighted every decision that I've made. And now I am feeling better. I got to sleep last night. I got a good night's sleep. And it's to a point where even with my play-by-play schedule and wanting to get reps and everything, if I'm going to be ready to take on a late night schedule, then my training starts now. It starts now with me not taking on another game past 7 o'clock Eastern time. Because by 10, I have to shut it down and I have to go to bed. Period. I have written that down. I have typed it on my phone. I have typed it on my computer. But to continue this part of my healing, like Victor just said in the comment section, I have to do it in moderation. And for me to do it in moderation means one game a week. Now I'm going to do it at different times of the afternoon, of the evening, and there are some times where the Brian Snow Show will get preempted by a play-by-play call. Be that as it may, I'd be stupid not to lean on what has helped me heal thus far. And that's my wife, and that's my family, but that's also my broadcast duty. And I will admit to all of y'all, I have shirked them and shirked them badly. How am I supposed to make billions of dollars and help the crew if I'm not A, taking care of myself, and B, taking care of my broadcast? That's not fair to anyone that's involved. That wouldn't be fair to all that's involved. That includes Victor, my engineer in our world headquarters of Chicago. That includes my fabulous executive producer, Nicole Johnson. That includes Ryan McCarthy, who you all see every Monday. That includes Sick Diggy from Norway, who gives us all the joking ads that we read. But it wouldn't be fair to any of you guys if one of two things happened. If A, I simply quit, or B, I didn't fix what's going on. And there's so much that I need to write down more now that I can't simply recall. that, I have decided to push the plunger and start all the way over with all that I'm doing. That includes making sure broadcast sites are ready. That's making sure I know of any broadcast fees that may incur. And that includes a decision, a tough one, that I have to make and forego the baseball state championships in Indianapolis because I would not be prepared. I certainly wouldn't be prepared financially because I wouldn't know what schools would be involved or where to seek advertising. And I know seeking advertising is going to be the big thing for not only myself, but for all that's involved. In particular, Dr. Charles Faulkner, very, very dear friend, because he has agreed to be one of our main sponsors for Snowman Multimedia. That includes the Be Daring Foundation, who has also agreed to be one of our big sponsors. But I have to be fair, and I wasn't fair to myself. I thought that when I walked away from Jennings County, I was doing a bad thing. And my wife will tell you, I wrestled with that decision for a solid month. I kept telling myself I'm going to get back when the playoffs start, and my body simply wasn't ready. And since the day I found out, February 15th, that I am in remission from pancreatic cancer, and we were doing the happy dance, that's when we really started to dig in and do what we need to do and get everything organized for what's going to be a year of transition. And I call it a year of transition because we are going to move. We are going to find out where we want to move to, and we're going to have the money to do it. If you followed us on our adventure to North Carolina, that came last minute, and we can't handle it that way and won't handle it that way anymore. It's not fair to my family. It's not fair to myself. And even though COVID dealt us a nasty sucker punch, and my health dealt us a second nasty sucker punch, through all of that now, and now I consider today to really and truly be day one of finally getting everything together. Everything that's happened before today is in the past. That includes all the archives from the show, because I took a look at my podcast carrier and I hadn't uploaded a show or a part of the podcast since April 26th. So in essence, I took a month off from doing that, an entire month. And if I take a month off from doing anything, there better be a significant reason of why. Well, there is. To the point where I'm even pushing the plunger on my website, snowmanmultimediasports.com. And I'm starting over there too, beginning next Tuesday, because I'm taking Memorial Day completely off. I may do a game Memorial Day. I don't know. I haven't decided. But in getting this all off my chest and being completely open and transparent with you guys, I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate you. And I cannot tell my beautiful wife, Jody, enough how much I appreciate her for her guidance, her counsel, her love, her support, and her drive. Because the two smartest things I could have done, I made her chief of finances for the household, and I made her the chief operating officer for Snowman Multimedia. Another smart decision, I got Cole involved as my executive producer. He brings the order, I bring the content. Now, am I going to work hard to get some sales for advertisers? You damn betcha. But at the same time, I'm continuing to follow a lesson that my wife told me. If you feel like you need to rest, rest. Now, I'm going to continue to follow that. But I'm also going to put it in the form of a schedule. Now I have to. Because going forward, every day that I'm not on the air, I consider myself losing a whole lot of money. And that's the last thing I'm going to do. The other last thing I don't want to lose are you guys, are the fans that have stuck with me, the fans that have been with me, the fans that stuck around and said, we believe in you. And for that, for you guys telling me, do what you need to do, get yourself together, I am truly grateful. I am eternally grateful. And I can't say enough how much I appreciate you guys. Take a break, and when we come back, the king is dead! Well, not literally, but the scepter of LeBron James is done. And if y'all thought I went off this morning, you ain't heard nothing yet. This is the Brian Snow Show, live from Edinburgh, Indiana. Back in a minute.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Sure. We all know ghosts exist.
I'm getting a really dark energy.
But if you trying to hunt them, there's one simple rule you gotta follow.
What the hell was that? Guys, hurry up and get the hell out of there.
No matter what happens, stay calm.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, my God! Run!
Oh, hell no!
Hey, Matt, what's up?
Okay, that's a balloon. It looked like it was a demon. Wow.
We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing. O-E-O, mucho. Run it.
So where are we going?
A haunted pinata shop.
What?
An old Korean brothel.
Oh, Lord.
A funeral home in Compton?
Yeah.
You don't like us, do you?
It's business.
I get fly for nothing. I roll with O-P-O.
Official paranormal operations, baby.
We got infrared cameras set up all over the place.
Whatever's in there, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Y'all down with it?
What the is this? I have robot strapped to my abdomen.
What the hell is going on?
Are you with us right now?
You okay?
Guys, we got action.
I feel like something's in here with me.
Don't nobody want you with us.
Man, they got some going down in there.
It could be a succubus.
Suck you, huh?
It's an energy that feeds upon you in a sexual way.
Not with the teeth like that?
Oh, yeah.
We be fly for nothing.
All right, investigation's over. This bitch is haunted as
back to the Brian Snow Show, live from Edinburgh, Indiana. And let me thank the folks at CSTV, Tom O'Boyle and Company, for bringing us aboard. I really appreciate it. And Justin Canton will join me tomorrow on the Brian Snow Show at the bottom of the hour, and can't wait to have him on. And just to expand on some of the points I was making earlier. I've always said it's time for me to get organized. It's time for me to write everything down. I got my tablet here, using my phone, got my laptop, but I am also going to write everything down and make sure everything is coordinated, because I just landed Matt Taylor for the morning show tomorrow at 9:15, and I have to alert Cole to that just to make sure that he knows what's going on. Let's go to the feedback zone presented by BetUS. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Ryan McCarthy's the first one in. Time to get funky. It most certainly is. And then Sick Dicky checks in with us from Norway. This is about to get wild, funky, and loose. Better believe it is. This is about to get slippery as a Ready for the World concert with all that Jerry Curl activator on the stage back in the 80s. Oh, Shayla, good Lord. Why is that song in my head now? Damn you, Sick. Now that song is going to be stuck in my head forever. Dang nabbit. Now watch what happens. I'm going to go home and look that song up. Dang it. Well, it's good. It's good enough. It's good enough for me. I'm a child of the 80s. I am absolutely a child of the 80s. Sick Dicky says that's understandable. You got to put yourself and well-being first. Absolutely. I'm going through a lot of seasonal depression as we speak. That's one thing my wife goes through a lot is seasonal depression. Seasonal depression is not fun at all. Victor Locke joins us from Chicago. Afternoon, Mr. Snowman, and good afternoon to my brothers Ryan McCoffey and Agent 0069 Diggy. Play-by-play is your therapy, but you just have to put it in moderation. Ain't that the truth? Ryan McCoffey chimes in, says, afternoon, Vicala. And Victor, I think you just described this perfectly as Mark Marina described it sometime back. I think what happened is once you were in remission, you were ready to sprint when you still have a lot of rehab focus to focus until you get back into fighting shape. We here and want you to get better. Well, I appreciate that. From my friend of some 23 years, Victor Locke. Sick Diggy greeting everybody. And again, I am going to do my best to use all of my healing mechanisms. The physical ones include sleep, and lots of it. And to the point where this past weekend, I slept so much I was tired, but I didn't realize how much I needed it. And I'm working on a few things here at the same time, so stay with me. I just didn't realize how much rest I needed. This is how bad it got. When I would finish the morning show, I just wanted to lay down. I didn't want to do any editing. I didn't want to cut anything for the podcast version. I just wanted to lay down. And to the point where, like I said earlier, I thought of quitting the afternoon show. I thought of quitting the Brian Snow Show, a show that I put together that finally has my name on it. Well, I'm glad I didn't. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Because if I lay this down, someone else is going to pick it up. If I lay it down, someone is going to pick it up. And I just can't have that happen. This latest, the host down in LeBron James, the host clown in LeBron James, is brought to you by Slam Hard Barbecue. Tastes so good, you better tip and kiss the waitress. Yeah, I tip and kiss my waitress all the time, and y'all know who she is. Y'all know who she is. And bum leg orthopedic. The only thing keeping Anthony Davis's career intact. Keeping Anthony Davis intact. Bum leg orthopedic. Oh my leg, oh my leg, oh my leg. People knew where that one came from. Going a little further, I have to say thank you to you guys. I have to say thank you for always being there, always being with me, uh, counting on me, and pushing me to get better, and just being there. I have to thank my wife Jody, my children Sonia, Cheyenne, Sam, Dakota, Kaylee, my grandchildren Anastasia, uh, um, Gracie, Fantasia, my little grandsons, Braylon and Jalen and Braden. I couldn't do it without them, and I refuse to do it without them. I refuse to do it without them. To the folks at Jennings County High School, thank you for, at least for a little while, allowing me into your lives, doing play-by-play, and I plan to come back stronger. Um, unless we move before the fall season begins, and that is still very much a possibility. Got some things going on that we need to solve, and we're going to. Oh, that's what the correct statement. The beatdown of LeBron James. Oh, I'll get to that. I will definitely get to that. But while I'm throwing out flowers, there's um, I must thank Cole Johnson because I don't think the show would have survived my extended absence had it not been for Cole and had it not been for me asking him to sit in for me while I was away last year, uh, taking care of my surgery, taking care of pancreatic cancer. When you get sucker punched with news like this, and I got sucker punched July of 21, and I have pancreatic cancer, and then to go through the oral chemotherapy treatment, and I was so chemoed out I couldn't make a decision correctly. And there is a thing to that. There is a thing to that. I didn't know what was going on until my wife explained it to me. I was putting poison in my body, which is what my dad went through, which is what my mother went through. They were putting poison in their body. To the point where I relinquished my role as chief of finance. That's all my wife now. I mean, she handles my appointments, she handles my schedule, and she reminds me of everything that I need to do. She reminds me of everything that I need to do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I certainly would not have it any other way. And you know, the most fun thing about this is when you really, really get it together and put it together, there is no one and nothing that can stop you. And I'm being very philosophical today because this is my first day back in a week with a lot more clarity than I did than the last time I took an extended break. And I mean a lot more clarity. I couldn't be more clear on what I have to do to the point where when I go home tonight, I'm not going to touch. I'm probably going to like watch videos and such, but I'm only going to plan for tomorrow. And even that I may do here while I'm listening to Cole Sports kick ass. And that is happening at the top of the hour. But man, everything is going to stay the way that it is. The only thing that's going to get tweaked probably because of our audience out in Nevada and all points west is the time of the morning show. And what I have to do is make sure that it's okay with the entire team that we do make the time change, that we do make the change. And as soon as all that gets clear, that is when we will push the button and pull the trigger on the time changer. Speaking of pushing the button, I have another button to push. But when y'all get back, where's your crown, King Nothing? Yeah, I said it. Where's your crown, King Nothing? You fool. Back in a minute.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, and the usual cast of characters as we bring it to you every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and it's right here on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Join us, won't you?
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Sure. We all know ghosts exist.
I'm getting a really dark energy.
But if you trying to hunt them, there's one simple rule you gotta follow.
What the hell was that? Guys, hurry up and get the hell out of there.
No matter what happens, stay calm.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, my God! Oh, hell no!
Hey, Matt, what's up?
Okay, that's a balloon. It looked like it was a demon. Wow.
We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing. O-E-O, mucho. Run it.
So where are we going?
A haunted pinata shop.
What?
An old Korean brothel.
Oh, Lord.
A funeral home in Compton?
Yeah.
You don't like us, do you?
It's business.
I get fly for nothing. I roll with OPO.
Official paranormal operations, baby.
We got infrared cameras set up all over the place.
Whatever's in there, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Y'all down with it?
What the is this? I have robot strapped to my abdomen.
What the hell is going on?
Are you with us right now?
You okay?
Guys, we got action.
I feel like something's in here with me.
Don't nobody want you with us.
Man, they got some going down in there.
It could be a succubus.
Suck you, huh?
It's an energy that feeds upon you in a sexual way. Like,
Not with the teeth like that?
oh, yeah.
We be fly for nothing.
All right, investigation's over. This bitch is haunted as
$39 after the hour. And I was wondering, what should the subject du jour be? Oh, yeah, LeBron James is eliminated. Good! I'm sorry. I shouldn't be that gleeful. Well, I am! To the point where LeBron James, yes, that LeBron James, the so-called king of basketball who can't even play the game correctly, who can't even shoot a free throw without committing a violation every time, is pondering retirement. Let that sink in. LeBron James is pondering retirement. Good. Get the hell out of the NBA and stay out. You've ruined the NBA for 21 years. I'm sick and tired of this guy who is a fabulous athlete. Don't get it twisted. He's a fabulous athlete, but a horrible basketball player. He sucks at the game of basketball. And yet the NBA has given this guy every single pass that they could give to him. Every single pass. To the point where Bronxexuals, and I hate to bring a word from the morning show to the afternoon show, but yet it applies in this case, are saying, well, he needed more help. How much help does the guy need? Answer that for me. How much help does the guy need? He already stacked his teams to minimal success. He stacked his teams, not the GMs in charge, not the coaches, not the folks who actually know their team. No, every team LeBron has joined, be it the Cavaliers, be it the Miami Heat, or be it the Los Angeles Lakers. He has ruined, he has broken apart, and he has sent players elsewhere. And it's especially true with the Lakers. They have so much young talent that now should have been the time for them to come together and compete for a championship. But no, LeBron James stepped in, pushed the plunger, and blew all those thoughts to shreds. I hope he does retire. I hope he walks away and never comes back. But his ego won't let it. Why? He wants to have at least one season with his son, Bronny, who ain't that good at basketball either. The difference is, Bronny has a chance to get better because he's going to play college basketball. Now, I'm willing to bet you it'd only be for a year. I'm willing to bet you it would only be for a year. But he's going to play college basketball. And I hope he plays the entire season. Why? You need the work. You understand? You need the work, Bronny. Now, a lot of people are going to argue with me saying, oh, he's going to be a surefire number one pick. Well, to me, he's not. He's not ready. I would say the same about Victor Wembanyama, but he's landing in San Antonio with an old school coach that's willing to teach him the fundamentals. Now, my question is this. Will the folks at USC do the same thing? Jill's Chocolate Boutique in the house, joining us. What's up, Jill? Good to have you with us. Will Bronny allow himself to be coached? Because that is one thing his father, LeBron, has never done, even in Miami. Even when Pat Riley put a foot in his ass and said, look, I'm the GM, Spoles is the coach, you're the player. Get out of my office. LeBron James is trash as a basketball player, period. Not as an athlete, but as a basketball player. He can't dribble down the lane without traveling. He can't shoot a free throw without committing a violation. And in the immortal words of my buddy Victor Lott, that chicken wing ass jumper that he has and has relied on that didn't work. Anybody watch the Western Conference Finals where they got swept by the Denver Nuggets? Good. Then you see what I'm talking about. He needs to go. He needs to retire. He needs to walk away, relinquish the league, and let the league allow the league to be carried by real stars, such as Stephen Curry, such as Nikola Jokic, such as Giannis Antetokounmpo. Real stars. Let me borrow Cole Johnson. Real all-stars. You know, LeBron James in this round of voting did not get a single vote for MVP. Good. He doesn't deserve any. He should never be considered for MVP ever again. Because how valuable has he truly been to his team since 2018? Let me answer that question for you. He hasn't. And I bring up 2018 because that's the last time, now before 2020, and that doesn't count. That's the last true time LeBron James has been in the NBA World Championship Series, and he'll never get back. I don't count that bubble championship. It doesn't count. I'm sorry, Anthony Davis. They robbed you of a unanimous finals MVP. They robbed you of a possible MVP. COVID robbed you of that. And in many ways, so has LeBron. They made the trade for Rui Hachimura. Oh, yeah? Guess who was the first one to get in his ear? And Hachimura's game has deteriorated. So if it sounds like I'm blaming LeBron for the decline and the deterioration of the NBA, I am. He has not done a doggone thing to help the league in 20 years. Period. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he helped social justice. What the hell good does that do with him being on the floor, walking across the timeline and double dribbling? He is not fundamentally sound. Matter of fact, I will go one step further as to say LeBron James is one of the most fundamentally flawed players I have seen in 20 years. Let me go one step further. I will say that a lot of people are ranking LeBron, number 1, number 2, number 3 all time. He doesn't belong. He doesn't belong in the top 25, 50, or 75 of all time. Matter of fact, he doesn't even belong in the top 250. 300 even. In 40 years of watching basketball, 40 plus years, I have seen better. Much, much better. And LeBron James is not it. Let me say that again for those of you in the cheap seats at the United Center. I've seen better. I've seen better forwards. I've seen better players. I can name you 100 forwards that played the game more fundamentally sound and better than LeBron James ever did. Let me say that again. I can name you 100 forwards that played the game better and more fundamentally sound than LeBron James ever did. I don't have to start with Hall of Famers such as Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen or James Worthy or Larry Bird, do I? But I'll start there anyway. I don't have to tell you Bill Laimbeer was one of the toughest some bitches I ever saw play forward and center. They started him at center, but he was a forward. And yet he still played the game fundamentally sound. I don't have to mention the name Adrian Dantley, do I? I don't have to name forwards like that. I don't have to mention the name Bernard King, do I? That's just the forwards. And according to these bronzexuals, I dare not mention the name Tom Chambers. I dare not mention the name Jack Sikma. I dare not mention the name Dominique Wilkins. I dare not mention the name Kevin McHale. I dare not mention the name Larry Nance, do I? I dare not mention the name Mark Aguirre, who should be in the Hall of Fame, but unfortunately he isn't, and that needs to change. I dare not mention the name Terry Cummings. I dare not mention the name Sean Elliott, who I had the pleasure of meeting, and he was just as silky smooth with the Spurs as he was at the University of Arizona. Period. I dare not mention the name Andre Iguodala, who was a forward and a guard, and played great defense on LeBron each time they met in the finals. Oh, y'all don't hear me. And yeah, I'm mentioning the name Andre Iguodala, just like I'm mentioning the name Draymond Green. Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala share a common denominator. They locked up LeBron in the finals. The only reason LeBron came back from a 3-1 deficit in 2016, which was a back-assward year as it was, is because he got a stimulus package the size of this doggone gas station across from me. He got a stimulus package. And those who watch basketball know it. He got a stimulus package. That should have been a 5-game conquest. for Golden State. You take Draymond Green out of the equation before Game 5 at home in front of a raucous crowd of 19,596 at Oracle Arena, which surpassed 20,000 that night because everyone was expecting a clinching, and then you have happened what happened. Quit putting this guy on a pedestal. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't earned it. Ryan McCarthy and I got to lean in. Sean Elliott was better, and he played with one kidney. Yep. He played with one kidney. He was better than LeBron James. Shall I go on? How about the name Chris Mullin? How about Chuck Person? How about Buck Williams, Jerome Kersey? All these guys I named were better forwards than LeBron James. LeBron James is trash as a basketball player. I've said that many times over, and I've gotten the side eye from every bronzexual I know. A lot of motorcycles out here. LeBron James is trash, and he has been trash for 20 years. Why? For the cheap reason, he's never been fundamentally sound. He's got by on his athleticism, and yet when someone is not afraid to play against him, Paul Pierce, hello, Kevin Garnett, hello, Stephen Curry, Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant, hello, everybody wants to make excuses for him. Stop it. LeBron, you've had a good 20-year career. I'm not going to say great because it wasn't great. Hell, left-handed shooting Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame, had a better career than was played a better forward than LeBron James. I don't mention the name Dennis Rodman, who's a Hall of Famer, by the way. I don't dare not mention the name Dennis Rodman. Huh? How about that? I already mentioned Bernard King. How about that? Dare not mention Charles Barkley. Dare not mention Xavier McDaniel. Dare not mention Tom Chambers, although I've mentioned him already. How about that? How about that? How about Domantas Sabonis, who plays forward and center much better than LeBron James does? I have a few more names in the chat. Rick Fox, Dennis Rodman, Charles Oakley, Sam Perkins, who actually worked on his jump shot, by the way. Forgot about that, didn't you? Forgot that all the forwards I named worked on their jump shot. Two in particular, Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley, because Barkley couldn't hit an outside shot consistently to save his life in Philadelphia until the latter years. Never thought about that, did you? How about Pau Gasol? How about him? He played a more fundamentally sound forward than LeBron James did. Want another guy from the Indiana Pacers? How about Detlef Schrempf? How about Sean Kemp? I'm just naming forwards right now. I heard of the phrase, Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players of all time. I dare not mention him to these bronzexuals, because they'll try and throw everything in the book at me to say Michael Jordan is not better than LeBron James. In fact, they put him as low as 5 all time. I had a young fellow challenge to me, and I've had this challenge repeated to me. Tell me something Michael Jordan has done that LeBron James hasn't. Okay, that's easy. He led the league in steals 3 times. He led the league in scoring 10 times. LeBron James done it only once. And I don't even have to use the championship argument, because there are 4 letters I can mention that separate Michael Jordan from LeBron James forever. DPOY. You know what that stands for? Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, y'all didn't hear me. Let me say that again. Defensive Player of the Year. And it wasn't even his best statistical season. The year was 1988 when he won that. Name a year where LeBron James won the regular season most valuable player, All-Star game most valuable player, and the Defensive Player of the Year. I'll answer that. He never done it. And he never will. Because LeBron James does not play defense. And if he does, it's horrible. Look at the Western Conference Finals. That should tell you everything you need to know about that. That should tell you everything you need to know about that. LeBron James sucks at the game of basketball. Just like a lot of video games I played on a console back in the day, and just like the angry video game nerd said in his very, very first video some 12 years ago, to borrow from him, this player sucks. Okay? Let me say it again for all of you on TikTok and Instagram where I'm going to put this. LeBron James sucks as a basketball player, period. He always has sucked, and he always will. He will never get his act together as a basketball player. He will never get his game together as a basketball player. I've seen better before, during, and after his so-called era. And he never had an era because it went from Kobe Bryant to Stephen Curry. And now it's in the hands of Nikola Jokic. I believe the league is in very capable hands. And none of them belong to LeBron. So, if he does choose to retire, bye-bye. And don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Speaking of which, I'm out of here. I will see y'all tomorrow. God bless you, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning into The Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun are the results.